Alec, welcome back to the Maya Empire, Survivor Guatemala.
It's been so long. I'm like losing hair. What's going on? We're here.
Not
We're
for
here
you guys at
to
home, but for us.
Yeah, not for you guys at home. It has been a hot minute for us to do it, but we're here in Guatemala. We're not actually here in Guatemala, but we're here
where
with
cannibalism
Survivor
is okay.
in Guatemala, and cannibalism is cool.
It's really weird that CBS.
Here we go.
But...
Yeah. So the magician's assistant is out. Morgan.
Absolutely, she made such an impact on the season.
Yep.
I'm gonna miss her. They had a big old tug of war challenge. That was the main thing. And then
mud of war is what I call it. They also had a something spider web weave fishing supplies. I guess fishing supplies.
I mean, I think the biggest takeaway from last episode is that Danny basically exposed Gary being a quarterback to people.
It's like, oh yeah, he's a quarterback. And Gary's like, nah, she's making it up.
Yeah. And then Brian gave Lydia a heads up that people were kind of coming for her. She was a potential person to be voted out this episode. And it apparently worked. Whatever they did worked. And Morgan was voted out instead.
Right. So Lydia was excellent worker at camp, so-so at challenges, but Morgan was lazy at camp, competent in challenges, but they preferred to go the camp worker route.
We're kind of in the drudges here of some beginnings of some Survivor seasons where it's especially with this one where the first vote out was literally who's the most dead, after that first challenge.
Injured? Who is injured? Who's the Walking Dead here?
Yeah. And now it's who's annoying, who's bad at challenges, that kind of thing comes into play. But so we'll see what's next. As always, you can click the link in the description to see the highlights of our reaction and come back afterwards for the discussion. All right.
Are Blake and Bobby John still going to be suffering? That's going to be a real question.
Especially That's Blake. The question. That's what we're all keeping our eyes on.
Yeah. The fact that no one liked her. The fact that she wasn't trying hard enough for
there you have it.
Try.
Episode 3, Survivor Guatemala. Brianna, but you'll remember, you'll love her.
Yeah, she didn't really do a whole lot of anything this whole time. I like how she said before the immunity, it's like, I gotta stand out because I know that I'm not. People don't, people don't think I can do anything. Sure enough.
Yeah, I love when people acknowledge the issue and then do not actively make an effort to actually fix it.
Or do the opposite. That's one of my favorites. It's when they point it out and then they do the complete opposite.
Because it seems like the tribe is they're partial to want to vote Lydia out if she just this. They think Brianna is just naturally more athletic. So if she actually put in that effort, then Lydia's not athletic, so we could vote her out. But she's just so unspectacular.
Yeah, she was like, well, no one came down on me real hard, so I must be okay. That's your takeaway? That's your takeaway of it?
Yeah.
No one was coming down here hard? What about freaking what about Jamie screaming at you the whole time to move?
Yeah. Yeah, right? And she did not acknowledge anyone's plea to please move.
Yeah, to please move to get closer. It's even Jeff is like, you got to move closer, and she just stands there.
So Nukun won the reward and the immunity there.
They did, yeah, double.
Kind of find herself in a bad spot here with this tribe. And these people don't know what they're doing. Literally, there's not much drama here except for just literally coming down to who's bad at challenges and not pulling their weight.
Yeah, the only other drama was over at Nakum with Bobby John and Judd were getting pissed off at what's her name? Margaret. Yeah.
She made one comment is all we saw.
Yeah. So I'm assuming she's probably done other stuff and may have been more involved that they edited down, but it was funny. You would think to elicit that kind of reaction, you've taken one of her spicier sort of things where she was getting really bossy, but sounded like she was just kind of being no, what you need to do is this.
That's the spiciest thing they could find. I'm sure if they had something worse, they would show it. So
yeah, that's what I would think.
I mean, back in the day, men were a lot more inclined to just they were not shy about it at all. It was like, oh, this woman's bossy, she's a bitch, this kind of thing, you know.
It's like this weird macho. It's a weird macho thing where it's like, oh, we're men, we gotta do the men.
You don't need to tell me what to do.
Things, yeah. And it's like, yeah, okay, guys, but like, I get it as a guy, I get it to a degree, but like also maybe someone might know something that you don't. In which case she knew exactly. She was like, no, they're supposed to be making like a square. You're supposed to make like a square one where it tilts down, and that's how you make it. But instead they pitched it like a circus tent.
Yeah.
And and they're like, and she was like, my thoughts on that? No comments. And I was like, that's funny.
Yeah, so that's about all we've gotten so far. It's like so far this season has been all about. I mean, the first challenge fucked everybody up from the beginning.
Yeah, and that challenge was nuts.
We're still seeing the ramifications of that, where people are like, there's like still voting out these people who are dying and whatnot. But I mean, Brianna was just lousy. So
she was just lousy. not just lazy. She was just lousy. I love the way that you phrase that. It's really great.
According to Jamie, she's not pretty or crazy, which are the two qualities she looks for in a woman.
I was like, yeah, what a weird thing to say. I don't know what he means by crazy. I look for them to be crazy. Does that mean
crazy? Probably means like feisty, that kind of thing. But crazy.
I was gonna be like, no, is he talking about like loose? Does he mean as like they want to have sex with you? Is that what he likes?
Yeah. I like my women who have no standards.
And I like it.
I love that.
I love it when they just drop their panties for me. I love it. It's my favorite.
He might actually be into crazy women. I don't know. He seems like a kind of a freak.
Yeah, I guess so.
Actually insane women.
Yeah, like actually, like psychopaths. Yeah. I'm into that. Yeah.
I like when they threaten to kill me and they go outside. They like
slap
my tires. Yeah.
I love that. It's great. Means that they want me and only me.
Brianna's not either of those.
Yeah, she's not either of those things. Right. Yeah, he probably does mean like feisty, but
go back to the shopping mall and leave the jungle.
What a weird thing to say. Yes, you gotta go back to the shop. You're a girly girl. Go back to your shopping mall and leave the jungle.
So I guess he doesn't like girly girls. He probably likes a woman who can get on a tractor and she can get down in the mud. You know.
They're crazy. They're crazy.
Crazy
that's
like
love.
that.
Well,
like that. Right.
Like Stephanie. I heard Stephanie.
Stephanie, yeah. Well, he was the one who had an issue with Stephanie in the beginning. How am I going to win with Stephanie here?
Yeah, it's true. He did. Yeah.
You can't win with this guy.
No.
You have to be clinically insane. So, who would you award your MVP to for the episode?
Oh, I honestly, I think I'm gonna give it to Stephanie. Actually, she's just
trying to make something happen.
Yeah, the spirit. She really wanted. She really, again, is just like really frustrated. I feel like she was like really trying hard. Especially with like, she'd be like, Lydia, do you guys know, Brianna, do you know what this is? And they were like, no. And she tries to explain it, but then they're like, I don't get it. And it was like, oh, well. Yeah. And then Lydia like tried. She was trying really hard to do it. She just, she's just doesn't really, it's not her thing. She's not coordinated for that kind of thing. So she's just like, tripping over herself. But, Amy's got some spirit too. She sprained her ankle this episode though. So that's too bad.
She said that she sprained her ankle in like the first challenge.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that was highlighted or not before, but
it's gotten.
She said it was in the first challenge, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, I'm sure, another thing that'll be looming large. Her spraining her ankle. I don't know if Blake is still dying over there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bobby John, they seem to be doing a little better. I don't know.
Yeah, Bobby John looked like he was actually like having a seizure at one point. I was like, geez, man. His eyes are like rolling back into his head. Yeah, it's like awful.
But they really, they do not care. They're throwing him out in 114 degrees and making them friggin' work themselves to death again. Yeah.
Okay. So we haven't like brought this up much recently, but like challenges, I like both these challenges a lot. I thought they were both excellent. Whatever that game was, I heard cork ball. I don't know what the actual name he said was, but
yeah, I don't remember.
it's cool. I liked it a lot. It's a fun sport. I'd like to build an arena or a court, whatever you want to call it. You just need a lot of ropes. You know,
I need to legalize human sacrifice to make it really have the whole charm.
Make it real spicy. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of all I got. They put more paint on that like sweat off basically as they were going. Yeah, because
like it seemed like my takeaway so far this season is not very exciting, and I think the thing is that like you like seeing people in bad conditions, but if you work them so hard to where they like can barely function, like with that first challenge, I think it's kind of almost detrimental to the game because then now there's less strategy and it's more like who's
recovery,
who's alive enough.
That was what worked so well. I thought about like Outback is like, yes, survival against the elements came into play. It came into play throughout the whole thing, but I think especially it was taking its toll towards the later half of the season, which is when it was getting really interesting. Just kicking them down at the very beginning like they did, it's like breaking everything apart and then we're gonna have to rebuild it all or whatever, and it's like, oh god.
I mean, people are still suffering from that challenge to this day,
big time,
with their injuries. Like Jim never really got a chance to play the game. I mean, Blake got messed up by something along the way. Bobby John was dying from the beginning. Like these are all reasons like that both a couple people have been voted out, and reasons that like Bobby John easily could have been voted out in that spot, like just by been put into these conditions like that. But
now howler monkeys are also waking them up early. Oh, and they got a zookeeper and she's like, oh, aren't they just these what they're doing? And I was like, Judd, Judd's like
everything's getting on his nerves. All the women at least are getting on Judd's nerves so far.
But I'm also like, do you actually know what you're talking about, or are you just kind of BSing this? Because that sounds like
she's the expert.
She's the expert, but it does sound like you're making that up. It's like me being like, oh, well, the ant colony is the reason they're doing it is because they feel sad. They send these ants out because they feel sad that they can't get food, so they give them the food first to them to bring back to the rest of everything. Do you know what ant foragers are? Ant foragers are all of the old ants. They're all like the old guard. They send them out because that doesn't matter as much if they die. You know, they're going to do the dangerous job because who cares? Yeah. So they send the old and decrepit and weak ants out to do the feeding and bring it back to feed the whole.
How old is an old ant?
That's a good question. I don't remember their life cycles. Not over a year, usually.
There's no way, right? Yeah. So they're old. They're an old fart real quick. Yeah.
I can't remember what the general life cycle of an ant is. I should know that.
All right, well, if you have any feedback for us, feel free to click the link in the description and send us some of that. And subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and also check out all our social media.
Yeah.
What video would you recommend our viewers watch after this one?
Go check out our review of episode 5 of Survivor Palau.
Episode 5, Survivor Palau, of course.
Yeah, my note I see. That's the big. Willard gets voted out. That's the epic. So we're so sad. Yeah, that's the epic twist episode that I think me and you both were like.
Double tribal and then give let them save someone.
Yeah, some controversy in that one, but go check out our reaction to that. Right. Also, let us know ants versus termites. What tastes better?
Oh yeah, those guys are freaks.
Just freaking weirdos. Yeah, I mean they're not even cooking them. Like you gotta cook them up a little bit, you know.
I was like, ooh, I'm just gonna let that one run around in my insides. Actually, not even gonna chew them. Oop. Let the termites run.
Yeah, let the termites be digested by my stomach acid. Nice.
I love it. It gives me joy just to swallow them alive and feel them being slowly torn apart from my insides.
I can feel it all. The essence of the termites.
Yeah. Sometimes I poop them out and they're still alive. It's epic.
Yeah. Wow. It'd be kind of amazing if they could survive that. You know? The parasites that
there's gotta be
the parasites
there's
that
a
are
strong enough bug that can just like survive.
Probably yes, actually.
Cockroach.
Roaches could
swallow
roaches.
A fucking cockroach. Oh god.
Well, that's just inviting all kinds of problems anyway, because freaking roaches carry so much disease and like they're horrible. The roaches are awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
could they survive stomach acid?
I don't know. That's a good question. I should ask that somebody sometime. Do you think I should ask our entomologist that works? Should ask him. Hey, do you think cockroaches can withstand stomach acid?
Fuck you up, and then like
he would also be like, why would you want to know that?
God,
it's like it came up,
Imagine you have to poop out a cockroach whole alive.
Nah, that just sounds horribly unpleasant. It's just
Oh God. Jesus.
No.
Oh man. I imagine like you wouldn't even want to be pooped out, and you couldn't even poop them out. So you have to surgically remove the cockroach.
You just so you're feeding it.
Or
so
he'll just exist almost
inside
you.
Inside your stomach acid. Yeah, there you go. He's like, hey, I'm hanging out down here. How's it going? You can feed me a little bit. He will die eventually of old age, though.
Yeah, how old can cockroaches live to?
They're like a year and a half, I think.
Dang it.
It depends on the species. Some of them live longer than others.
I want to have like someone who's like, I ate a cockroach alive when I was 5, and it's still in me to this day. I'm now 50 years old.
It's like, do you guys have a symbiotic relationship or something? Like you're feeding the roach. This has gotten weird. We've gotten weird. I don't know what's going on. What the hell's going on? You're giving me some like weird ideas for like D&D though. I mean, like
really a symbiotic.
Yeah, a bug inside of a person.
Yeah. You can't.
It's like freaking Shino from Naruto.
I don't know.
The Aburame clan has they have like an insect.
I feel you, but I don't know.
Insects that feed on chakra, so they let them live inside them. The bugs.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
People do weird stuff.
Yeah.
I tell ya. All right. Thanks for watching.
All right.
All right. We're off to the shopping mall for us.
That's right.